Seth Spartan here, nutrition, training, boom, and hormone expert for Prometheus HRT Hormone Replacement Clinic. Guys, today we're going to be talking about what Deca, also known as nandrolone, the anabolic steroid. All right, guys, so what do you need to know about Deca, also known as nandrolone? Right off the bat, we're going to get 3 pros, then 3 cons with Deca. So first and foremost, question everybody wants to know typically off the bat is, how strong is Deca? Does it live up to its real world, or does it live up to its anabolic androgenic ratio, which is androgenic 37, anabolic 125. Yes, guys, Deca is surprisingly accurate in terms of, oh, it's bright out here, in terms of that ratio. Deca does fit that description very well. So yes, it is, we can say that without a doubt, it does fit 37 to 125 androgenic to anabolic ratio. Having said that, guys, what's the biggest pro with Deca? It's going to be none other than a very potent, powerful anabolic. Okay, yes, it's more potent milligram per milligram than testosterone. This is true. The only downside with Deca is going to be a longer time to get in your system, but as it comes with decoinate ester attached onto it. Obviously, people can go around this by using NPP, phenylpropionate ester, instead of decoinate. Having said that, second biggest pro with Deca, besides strength, is going to be none other than strength. Deca isn't typically known as a huge strength anabolic, and even though it has a very low androgenic ratio, Deca is still surprisingly good at increasing total body strength, and this is likely due to not only, yes, it being anabolic, but also the large increase in water retention. Now, this increase can be mitigated to some extent through cleaner eating, and also use of an AI. Deca doesn't aromatize that heavily, but you'll notice if you're using Deca along with testosterone or things like D-bol, this effect of estrogen conversion can be higher. Move on to pro number 3, last pro with Deca. Deca is going to throw on a lot of size, and I'm not talking muscle gain, I'm talking about size in general, much like we discussed with Anadrol. You know, Anadrol is probably the best strength anabolic steroid. Why? Not because it's the most potent at building muscle, but because size in general, muscle and water weight. So in terms of throwing on size quickly, ramping up dosages, again, leaving the ester out, but just talking about the nandrolone molecule, extremely potent for overall size, and this is why it's still chosen with powerlifters. People have, I want to add this in real quick with the pros. Deca has often talked about aiding, causing lubrication in the joints, and this is actually not necessarily the case. Deca can give relief in the joints by activating estrogen and progesterone receptors, thereby increasing synovial fluid. This is typically where this comes from. Moving on to the cons with Deca, guys. The biggest con with Deca is, and I know it's too early to say this without a doubt, but based on the early study we have done by the Italians, Deca, at least in lab studies, is shown to be 10 to 11 times more damaging to artery walls and blood vessels than testosterone. I know it's only a lab study, but from that, I want to caution anybody using this, as this potentially, not proven, but I want to say likely, is much worse on your arteries and blood vessels than testosterone. Again, based on that Italian study that came out. So I would steer clear of this compound just because you don't want to clog up your arteries, causing atherosclerosis. The second big issue with Deca is what? Guys, it's none other than what I've talked about with every other anabolic steroid. You take large doses of testosterone or anabolics, you're going to hypertrophy the muscles, but you're also going to hypertrophy the heart. The heart is a muscle too. And by hypertrophying the heart, when the heart gets thicker, it cannot fill and squeeze out as much blood, okay? And this is what kills all the bodybuilders. I cannot say this, and I will not say this enough, because this is the biggest issue with anabolics, okay? The last issue with Deca is going to be already something that, you know, I've experienced and also other people have experienced: depression and anxiety with Deca. Okay, Deca is a 19-nor derivative, and for me and many people, Deca causes terrible depression and anxiety and this is again just due to the molecule structure. You can't be happy on Deca, same as you can't be happy on Tren. Some people seem that it doesn't bother them at all. It bothers. Terrible for me, terrible for other people, any 19-nor including Deca. Guys, Seth Spartan here. Stay safe, stay healthy, do everything safely, legally, under doctor supervision. But here's the quick facts on Deca, and we're out.